Facebook, what's going on? Instagram, all the social networks. This is Anthony here, and with the Way of Life Boot Camp and Stills Full Body Fitness, and just want to talk about just a little bit of inspiration, hoping that to be inspired, right, or to be motivated. That's what gets you started. But what I'm hoping is to create a transformation. Now, I can't create the transformation. I always say that's ego driven for someone or a coach to say, you know what, hey, I'm going to transform someone. That's just my take on it. What you can do, what I believe is you can give the tools to a person, and then they take those tools and they're able to transform themselves, because we have to take our own life and be able to change it to be able to make a significant change. And that's what I believe. So what I want to talk about is our why and how that rings into uniqueness. I don't know if you can hear in this in this video right now, but in this video, I actually have classical music, and I love classical music. That's what makes me unique than some others. Some people don't. Some people do, and I love that. You know what makes you unique, okay? What makes you different than others, and then aligning that with your why, because what makes you unique is what's going to be your gift to the world. What I believe is that a lot of times we get beaten down, we get broken down through whatever happens. It could be when we were young, someone had said something, maybe a teacher that we looked up to, or our parents said you need to respect your elders, and so you respect your elders, and you have an elder, which whoever that is. It could have been a police officer, it could have been a teacher, it could have been whoever, someone that had a bad day, whoever it is, and they said, well, you'll never amount to anything. And so you kept that inside of you. Or they told you, you know what, you need to start listening to the rules more, and you need to be inside the rules. Not telling anyone to go out and break the rules, but you have to think outside the rules, or think outside the box, to create something and really to be unique and to change what this world is, or your world, right? And so what I think happens is we get beaten and breaking down, and so we become practical, and we go, you know what, hey, I'm just going to be like everyone else, because every time I move in a certain way, I act in a certain way, I talk in a certain way, I sing, I react to a certain situation, people see that, and they smash on it, and before you know it, I don't want to fight back on that, right? And I don't want to say my case on how I'm different, so I'm just going to go ahead and act like everybody else. Well, I had to figure out for myself that I could no longer do that. That I was no longer going to conform to what other people told me, that this is who you are, this is who you're going to be. And so I really hope that you're able to take some of this and go, you know what, hey, I'm gonna be who I am. Whatever makes you you. You know, you could have whatever it is. I don't know, big head, whatever, you know, big arms, big boned. You might be an artist, but you do your art in a different way. You may sing, but you sing in a different way. You might walk, you might talk in a different way. I don't know what it is, but you know what it is. And usually this is something that people are constantly picking and pointing and saying something about you. Now, your why aligns with this, because your why is what's going to make you get through your how. And so there's a story about a man, a mentor that I have, and he lives in, he used to live in Liberty City, or the Florida area around Dade County, which is a very challenged county. A lot of gangs, a lot of drugs, a lot of violence that goes on out there. And he was actually taken in by a foster parent, which ended up becoming his adopted parent, him and his twin brother. And they had 5 other kids. The lady had 5 other kids, and she took them in, so it made 7 now. Barely made any money. Single mother, amazing what she was able to do. Worked 3 or 4 jobs. One of her main jobs was being a nanny and taking care of a mansion for a lady that she would call master. And so her son went, which is my mentor, one of my mentors, and he went to go check out this check out and work with his mom. And this place had many rooms. And so to make the story faster, she basically, something dropped in one of the rooms. And so the lady, the owner of the mansion, basically said, hey, I want you to go ahead. I want you to go check out what happened in that room, Mammy. And so she went into that room. And as she was going in that room, she was clapping. The young man, he didn't understand why his mom was clapping. So he asked her later on in the car, he said, Mom, why were you clapping? And she said, I was clapping because our master told us to clap to make sure that we're not stealing anything. And of course, the young man was appalled, and he said, you know what? You'll no longer have to work in a situation like this ever again in your life. Once I grow up, I'm going to make sure to make enough money to make you never have to work again and never have to work for a person like this again. And so your why, what is your why? And if you can't find a why, borrow someone else's until you find it, right? Make sure you stay unique, stay you. Exercise that part of you that people are pointing out and trying to push down. Because that part is the part that is going to build who you are and build your uniqueness in the world and make you stand out among, because so many others are broken down, they're beat up because they have conformed and they no longer become unique because of that. So push forward. Way of Life Booth.